time.
Hello.
Welcome, everybody, to Speaking with Kate. And this is the first full moon of January 2024. Now, let me bring on Mickey. Let's see, how do I do this? Remove pin. Okay, here we go. Technical stuff. Hi, Mickey.
Hello, Kate.
Hi, everybody, and Happy New Year to everybody. It's the first time we've been together since the New Year.
Happy next 12 months of intention.
We have, right? We have 12 months of intentions to build on, but we did such an amazing job in 2023 that so much has come to fruition. We have, I reviewed the first one of these I did, and it wasn't on Speaking with Kate. I didn't have Speaking with Kate yet. And I looked at it and I thought, it's not very good. We've come a long way, baby.
Yes, we have done just that. All of us, each, have come a long way. Now, the thing you're saying had come to mind for me a couple of days ago well, in fact, today, someone sent me a recording of an evening that we had spent in Corfu at a friend's house.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
I was just in total shock. I had forgotten it had ever happened. I had forgotten all the things that were in it. There were so many things, and it was crazy. It was a Christmas about, oh God, 15 years ago. So that was quite interesting because, as you say, we've come a long way. I'm, I have moved to another country. I have changed my status in life, from Mrs. to whatever. And, I'm just me now. And so there are some enormous changes. Um, some of them were not what I would have chosen to focus on and bring into manifestation. But if you look back and just the last year, if you don't go 15 years back, but if you just look at the things we've been talking about for the last year of do this, do that, please try it this way, please. I don't know how much each of you have actually done, actually tried it after we get off. I don't know if you get up in the morning and say, I love you in the mirror.
I hope
Whatever.
they do.
Oh, I hope so. I say it all during the day at different times. The moment I have a little bit of angst and stuff, I stop it by starting that soliloquy with myself.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Hmm.
That's starting to work a little bit. Um, but we need to look back over that last year because we're about to start formulating our list of what we want to have happen over the next year. Now, you have to divide that into your long term goals, which
Right.
is about stuff at, September, August, whatever. But first, you have to look at, well, how can I prepare for that now? What do I need to start doing now so that whatever it is I see for myself will have had enough time for me to stick in all the little helps that make the magic roll, you know?
Nice.
So, yeah,
So you're
it's
so
like
you're
you said.
talking about looking back 1 year. I have been looking back 7 years.
Yeah.
And I remember when I used to work for a roofing company. I did their books. And my boss always would say there was a 7 year roller coaster, 7 years to the up, 7 years to the down.
Yeah.
And he's like, it just does that naturally. And I would say 7 years ago, my life got completely shaken up in a way that I never, ever even thought about. And and
We've
and
done that
and it was
before.
and after that, I mean, it was an up and down, and I've been listening to other channels, and they keep saying that the same year that this took place in my life, they're saying that 2017 was the beginning of this huge change, and 2024 it is supposed to be completed. I I wish my 7 year was already completed, but I can see that it's not yet. So I can see where my meditations, where my learning, where the things that I've been doing are making a difference in my personal life, but they also make a difference to the people around me.
Mhm.
going to Egypt last year was instrumental in bringing this to the public and feeling strong enough in myself to be able to say what I think inside, to say it out loud and have it be very, very public. And I'm okay with that now, whereas I was always very, keep it to myself. It was I just coveted everything inside myself because I was afraid of being judged. And through the strength of these you guys, everybody here, Mickey especially, it has given me the courage to be strong and open. Thank you, Mickey.
No, you're so welcome. But then I have to read the same script back to you because, as you know, I screamed and hollered all the way being dragged to this recording that thing because, as I said to you over and over, I'm not ever doing woo woo again. No, I've retired. No, I don't want to be in part of it. No, and I refused. I even got very perturbed and upset with you for trying to convince me. But we need to do this and we need to do that. And wouldn't it be lovely if? And I was like, which is so Scorpio.
And really, 2017, we didn't even know each other.
No,
So for those of you that don't know, Mickey and I met during COVID. So we met in around April of 2020.
yeah, something like that.
That was
Yeah,
kind of in the middle of this great transformation of my personal life. And we came together and we've been a great match together. We have helped each other through thick and thin. And
yeah.
as a
Lots
matter
of
of fact, I got to tell people today I'm having not the best day. I was a little sick to my
things.
stomach. I'm and it has nothing to do with this. It's all like personal insurance stuff,
Ask
crazy.
you, each of you, what's your day been like today? It would be great to know and compare because today is about the third of 3 days that were like, oh, you know,
It
I
has.
wonder if anybody else went through. Now, it wasn't earth shaking. The cat didn't die and, so forth. But it's been very frustrating. There have been little things that popped out absolutely unannounced that have tried to turn, spill the wagon, but you just have to refuse, hold on to the reins, and keep riding, you know? So I'm not sure um, what everybody else went through. It would be nice to hear what's it been like for you for 3 days, people? Put it in the chat and let us know.
All right. I need to say something. I can't see anything in the chat at all. Nothing.
Oh,
And I'm like,
okay.
"Oh my gosh, is no one on?" So I have my trusty little phone and yes,
Oh,
people are on and they're talking, but I cannot see it on my computer. Again,
okay.
crazy glitches. So I'm going to be looking down at my phone so that I can see. Uh,
Okay, I'll put mine too.
Weird. Audrey, she said
I don't
very
I don't-
low energy for me.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
my energy was low, but it wasn't very sweet. It was, it's just been really testy little thing. I've had to kind of pinch myself and say, cut that out, because the depression would come in or something would come with a song that made the emotions flare or whatever. I mean, there have been a few things. And I will also say, I know people can relate to this. I just bought a TV and it's what they call a smart TV. Well, that's just so you know that you're not smart. Because, boy, this is a challenge and a half. I'm going to have to go to the company about it because the engineers didn't set it up right when they came. My daughter in law was here to say, oh, don't worry, I know all about it. And she couldn't get it right. And then I couldn't get it right. So, it's like, it's very frustrating.
It is. It's challenging times. Like nothing has been life-shattering. And that was one of the things that the channelers had mentioned that I listened to yesterday. He said people are waiting for something big to happen. And he goes, This whole year of 2024 is going to be a series of very small things. And we just need to play our part in that. And I wanted to say my thoughts today were the peaceful warrior, the silent warrior. So
Yeah,
we want to be fearless. We want to, not keep our head in the sand, definitely look at what's happening around us,
we're
but
not going to be able to keep our head in the sand.
do it without fear, you know?
Yeah, that's
It's
the
like
only thing that's going to work
it
because we
is.
can't stop the fact that the thing will come up that makes you want to go, oh,
Exactly. Well,
but
and
yeah,
we can use 2020 as an example. During 2020, when everything was in lockdown, my girlfriend and I chose to hop in a van in July, and we drove across the country, and we went all the way to Virginia Beach before we went all the way to California. And we made various stops along the way. We got to meet Martin during that trip, but we came back 2.5 months later.
well,
And
you hippies, better late than never.
well,
But
exactly, better late than never. But my point is, when the whole world was living in crazy fear, her and
yeah,
I were absolutely fearless. We met people. We went to towns that didn't care about COVID. We went to towns that were crazy afraid of COVID, and we there was tremendous fires in California when we were there. So we ran it, and there were fearful times, yes, but for the most part, we went through it fearlessly. We just, dug our heels in and we did it.
well,
And
I had
and
planned.
we
Hmm?
s- we I don't even know the word I want to say. We prevailed. We
Oh,
grew from that
survive.
experience.
I will survive. Yeah,
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And there's so many other things. Like I remember way, way back when the stock market crashed, and I was
yeah,
still working at that roofing company, and the people there wanted, oh, we have to pull our money out. It's we're losing all our money, and I'm like, you still own the same amount of stock. Leave it there till it gets bigger, and they pulled it out. Well, my money has done real well because I didn't have the fear of losing it.
right.
And that's really how I believe we need to live 2024 is, noticing what's happening and, making the right choices, but doing it without fear. We are protected people. We are gods ourselves.
Well, I had planned to say something so similar, and I was going to start by saying I want to congratulate you or everyone because you're doing some very important stuff in terms of a significant spiritual evolution. And that's what we're poised on the starting line of an important spiritual evolution. We've been working on it for centuries,
We
but
have.
we're at the point where we can actually see the finish line. Thank you, Seth. You know, he
Yeah.
that we are coming into the home stretch here to have something a lot better, a lot better. But at this moment, there's nothing like a majority of people who are actually saying that that's what they want too. Right now, everybody's cutting up to do their last. It's like when mom says you're going to bed in 10 more minutes. And you start to do every stupid, silly thing you can possibly do before you get sent to your room, when you know all the BS is over. So there are some factions that don't believe it's even possible to see the thing that we're working on. We believe in it, so we're working toward a world where blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
But they're already in the one that we're deciding is no longer applicable. We don't want that. Well, but it's all we know, and we're going to hold on to it no matter what you say.
And
So
they will.
the majority that's needed is only tipping the balance. It's all about you want the people who want to see some good in the world. We only have to be 51%. You see, it's about the difference between you don't want 50-50. That's dead. Nothing's happening at 50-50. So you've got to have 51
Hmm.
And the other thing you're fighting against has to be pushed back to 49. And at that point, you're winning, even though it's just a bit, but you have shifted the energy. It's no longer negative, it is definitely positive, and it can only get more and more and more positive. But we've got some work to do, folks, because we have picked some really lusty, huge challenges to attack at this point. We're at that last part, and it's where you're stomping on fires, and none of us are wearing boots. So it's that kind of thing. We're stomping in our bare feet, but we believe, we know we can heal after, and we know we'll be okay, but keep stomping, everybody, because we need every foot. you know, this is the year of believing your own BS. Whatever it is you really want for yourself, when you said, I wish I had this, and I blah, 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 blah. This is when the rubber meets the road. Do you really want it or not?
Yeah.
Are you willing to do anything to get it? Or are you just BSing? This is it. There's no more room to fart around. This is it. You get up every day and you've got to change your mind switch it into a positive mode. It's about, if you do nothing else all day, at least get up and look in the mirror and like what you see.
Yes. And
It
say
will,
and tell yourself that.
even if you don't say it aloud, think it in your head, for God's sake.
Hmm.
Because yes, it's the message I keep saying over and over and over, but it's needed. People are not doing it.
It
When
is.
so and so calls you up, somebody calls you up, says, "Girl, wait till I tell you what happened with so and so." That bitch, blah blah. Cut that off. You don't want that poison pill dropped into your day. You just left the mirror where you said you love you and blah blah blah, and someone else wants to come tell you about some negative stuff going on in somebody else's life. Do you have room for it in your life? No. Don't entertain it. Say, I'd love to hear it, but I've got to do. You don't have to judge the person who's telling you.
Right.
They're trying to convince you to help them make a judging party. Well, just say, I'd love to come, but I've got previous engagement. I have this and this and this, and that I've got to do. I can't talk to you right now, but we'll talk about it another time. Just like that. No judgment. No, well, you shouldn't be. It's not about that. And you know why? Because every time you judge somebody, guess who you're judging? You.
That's right.
If we're all the same, we're all one. Oh, we love to say we are one in this world. We're all one. And then we talk crap about each other or do things that are not nice. Guess who you're doing it to? You. That
That-
whole thing about how many souls are in the universe. One.
mhm. Right. So you don't have to be not nice to people that are saying
No.
you should be doing this, but they're judging you, telling you how you should be living. But you can just, shake your head and say, we'll talk about that later, or,
Yeah.
there
You know.
that is so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wish I had time, but I really can't get into it right now.
yeah. So yeah, we can listen, we can hear what people have to say. It's good that you have the awareness of the people around you and how they feel. Then you can, make your determination. Do you want to be with that person? Or would you rather pick different people to be around? I've run into so many people that say they're spiritual. They have no idea what the word even means. I mean, to some people it means religion. To some people it means not religion, you know? But very few of them, think that it's the knowing that this is just a very short time of eternity and that I am an eternal being.
Right.
Very, very few people take it to that extent.
This lifetime is less than a station break. They
I
just
know, blink of an eye. Right. Now, I got to go back to my Facebook peeps. Apparently,
Okay.
people have been talking. So let me say, first of all, Audrey said hi, Happy New Year. Martin
Always good
said,
pie.
hello, everyone, from Martin. Martin's on.
Oh, hello,
Now,
Mark.
I did see that Audrey said she was having low energy. That was the only comment I could see. Now I'm seeing more. Uh,
Oh,
Martin also said, thank you, Kate and Mickey and Audrey, for keeping on, keeping up this place for us. You are so
oh,
welcome, Martin. And we thank you for being here every time that Facebook lets you get on.
yes.
Um, Kim
Sweet.
McElwain, she is a student of mine that I haven't seen for years and years, but she is an animal medium. So she can connect with animals
Oh,
that have passed or animals that are still here if they need training.
oh,
She said, no
and
fear.
say
I
her name
feel
again.
what? Say that again.
Again, her
Kim,
name.
Kim McElwain.
Oh, okay. Please message me, Kim. I got some stuff I want to say to you. Okay.
Oh, wonderful. So Kim said, no fear. I feel a lot of goodwill come pertaining to freedom. Wonderful.
Ooh,
And then let's see, Melissa is Melissa Wilkinson that was on here. I did an interview with her. She is watching. I haven't heard from her yet.
Melissa.
Kim also said, in it, owing who you are and stick with it. I love that. Martin says, we are the one. Right on, Martin.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. And it's so sacred. It's such a gift. There are ways in every day that I suddenly realize, oh my God, this is such a gift to be allowed to see it this way this time. This is the one I'm focusing on right now. So I'm looking at things from this particular perspective, no matter what the other selves are going through.
Right.
And out of the whole gamut of what the other selves are, some of them are having catching hell, some of them are kings and queens or whatever. But at this moment, this me that I'm looking through, I'm so grateful. My God, I'm so grateful.
I know we have all, whether we meditate or believe what Mickey and I are saying or not, we have chosen to come here and experience this time. And it is going to be the most transformational year that I think I've ever lived through.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what we're all saying. I want to also admonish folks when you do go online, all the various psychics and readers and astrologers and so forth, and say, you can't stop what's happening. Oh my God, it's coming. Oh, and all of that stuff works well on a certain kind of mind who needs all of this in
Mhm.
order to pay attention. But I just want to tell everybody yes, it's a transformative year, it's a heavy number, but how it affects you is going to totally depend on what your beliefs are.
Mhm.
It's like when you said that you and your girlfriend went on a spree of freedom in the midst of the greatest lockdown and end of freedom that the world's ever seen.
I know it was crazy.
So it wasn't what you had programmed for your life right then. You see what I mean? It didn't affect you the way from the president down, everybody's saying, oh my God, I'm going to die. No,
Right.
we're going to take off in the car and have a lovely time.
Right. It wasn't in our script, either one of us.
Right.
And I have to say that to this day, well, I can't speak for her, I don't know, but I have never had COVID. So
Yeah,
I
it either.
I have never gotten sick. So
Right.
did I wear masks? Yeah, I did. More for other people than myself.
Right.
I just really didn't have any fear of getting
Write it in, like you said, it was not in your script,
sick.
you
Right.
know? And the reason I'm pressing on this is back to what I was saying before. We're sitting here now about to consciously write the script for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind that you're free to write whatever you like. You don't have to listen to all the doomsayers and, oh God, it's going to be. Yeah, it is going to be that for many, but it also depends on what kind of karma did you build up in the past? What is it that's coming due? This is a come due hallelujah moment. But if you weren't misbehaving, when they say, mommy's coming, but you weren't misbehaving. So it's like, hi, mom, what's up?
Right, right.
You're not all still, hi, mom. You're not scared that they're going to discover something horrible that you were up to because you weren't. You see? So when people say today is the day of punishment, for those who have asked for punishment, they wrote it in their script. I did.
Hmm.
All right. So keep that in mind, folks, as you formulate your list. Everything you look at it with a grain of salt and say, well, that's not what I think I want to do.
Right. And there should be no fear of anything. You go for what's best for you. As long as you're not hurting anyone else or interrupting somebody else's life or uh, trying to change someone else's life, it's all good. You do what you want to do. Um, and the
Yes,
only thing I say is that, it be something that is not harmful. That's all
yes,
to you or anyone else.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
And go through life with joy. I mean, that's why we're here. Seth said that so many times, and he's like, if you don't like what you're doing, change your focus, do something else. He said, there's no reason to suffer except to learn. Suffering is just to learn not to suffer.
Yeah, that's all. It's a show and tell.
Yeah.
It's a show and tell. And I was listening to an interview with a famous astrologer, and he was stressing the fact that, well, look, out of everything else that's happening, he listed a long list of different astrological aspects to be careful of. Look for this and see if how is this in your chart, blah blah blah. But he says it all comes down to we do things as they are useful to us. That's it. It's very simple. If it's not useful, we're not inclined to go run off and do it. When something inspires you, it makes you want to, you know, leap up in some way. But a person has to make you think that you need it or you want it. What good is it for me to do? Blah, blah, blah. And the moment you feel that it's useful to you, you're all of a sudden willing to start making rewrites in
Mm.
your script to accommodate this new thing. So, yeah, be very careful what you ask for because this is the year when you're going to get whatever it is.
Absolutely. Right. And we talk about, right, tomorrow is the new moon, and this is the strongest time to set your intentions for what you're going to manifest. And, this time of the year, so many people are talking about, oh, I need to lose weight, or I need to get out more, or I need to walk, or, whatever these needs are. It is going to come to fruition this year, but
Word it
it's
is
not that something is just going to, happen at the snap of a finger. You still have to make that move. You have to have the intention. And then, like, for instance, oh, I want a new car this year. Well, that doesn't mean it's just going to show up in your driveway. Oh, it might, but probably not. You're going to have to go and test drive a few and, try that out. But you will
it's
get what you're looking for.
yeah, but it's the fact too that we take the word need out of it. I want this. I need that. Oh, if only. It's all about the script you're reading to yourself. You're writing it, so then don't put those other wobbly words in there. Wow, I'm so glad that I'm going to get my such and such soon because I deserve it and I'm just interested in seeing when it's going to show up. I already know I deserve it. I already know it's coming. So it's not about what I need or want. That's crap in the sky. That's stuff to come and we don't even know when. The thing is, I know that I deserve blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
I know I've already created it and written it in the script. I'm just waiting to see what day it arrives. When I'm playing bingo or poker or whatever, if I'm not the one that wins, the hand. Or if bingo gets so far down the line, I've been waiting on one number and somebody else wins. And the minute I see their name, I'm like, oh, how nice for you. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Because this means I'm one game closer to the one where I win.
Good way to think of it.
That's all. It's not, oh, I want to do it. Oh, oh, it's gone. No. Oh, wow, that's great. Enjoy it. Because now I'm one closer to the one where I'm getting the big payoff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's all about what you believe. If you go into the game with, why would I play bingo? I don't ever win that stuff. No, it's about your script. We are writing the script, people. You got to get that in here. We're writing the script. We're the little sentinels sent here by the big one to report what we're going through.
Yeah.
So we got all the power in the world. Look who our buddies are.
Yeah.
We got archangels and gods and all kinds of folks hanging out waiting to see what we do with the gifts they gave.
Right. Because we have free will, we can choose to accept all the gifts or we can choose to turn our back on them. So
Right.
make your choices wisely.
Perfect ones.
You know, Kim said there's no COVID fear with her, and it's already been written, is correct. But
That's right.
we can also change what's been written.
Yeah.
You know, uh, like I said, 7 years ago, I couldn't have imagined my life being what it was like today. But thank God I made that choice to embrace what came before me. I didn't, I mean, I did kind of push it a little bit, but but I went with the flow instead of fighting against it, I guess I want to say. And
Okay.
and it has worked out, wonderfully. I
We
made
can do
so
this,
many
people.
so many new friends and I learned so many new things and I learn new things every single day. Like
Me too.
you can find things like this on YouTube, on Facebook. You can find short ones, long ones, all kinds of meditations. And I really just say meditate, meditate,
Yeah.
meditate.
Yeah.
I started a practice on the first of the year where I just sit quietly in the morning and I ask to myself, I ask, what does my higher self have to tell me today? And I just write, and sometimes it's just one line, and sometimes it's a paragraph. Sometimes it's a lot of feelings, and then sometimes lately I've been asking questions about what the message is, and then the higher self's been answering, and in my past I would say, well, how do I know it's not me? Well, it is me. It's
Yes.
my higher self. It is me.
In those parts of the Bible where someone says, and the Lord said, what did I say? When? What did I say? Because it's me, people.
It
You
right,
know,
right.
every time God is mentioned, guess who they're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay? We're more quick to identify with, well, we're the devil. Oh, the devil's come and done that. Oh, the devil just did such and such. Guess who made it? So who's bigger? you know, if absolutely everything was created by God, then hey, wait a minute. The devil has to answer to somebody. Okay? And since that's my buddy, then I'm not worried about what that concept does. I'm not even living the kind of life where I even believe in a devil. But for so many people, it's a way of separating certain types of vibrations from other types of vibration. And if they want that separation to be that profound, that's fine. But keep it in perspective.
Mhm.
Remember who created who.
Right.
no,
And Seth said that too. He said there is no real evil. We are all
is
of
it?
God. However, man creates evil in his thoughts and human beings, I want to say. I don't want to say
Defining his
but
reality
human beings.
by using that concept.
Right.
Oh, we'll have a devil in this script.
Right.
No,
Right. And we create, demons and whatever. but if you don't create them, they don't exist. It's not real. Like,
Well, it's like the little kid that can't sleep because, but there's a monster in the closet.
that's
Well,
right.
don't go to bed with that idea anymore. And it used to scare the bejeebus out of me.
Uh-huh. How many of you can't sleep with your foot hanging over the edge of the bed?
That's
This is
funny.
this is so funny. But you know what? We are being humorous. We are being very lighthearted. It's an intense, big subject, and
Yeah,
but it is joyful because we're creating it. So if we want to create demons. Just don't bring them to me. I
yeah.
want to create
Um,
joy and happiness in my life. Um, Kim said, ask for it, believe it's already done. That's how I heal animals. Believe they are well, and they are. Believe is the most powerful word in the universe.
right.
And Martin said, always finding myself in a meditative state, just being here. Oh my God, I love you, Martin.
Yes, that's so true, Martin. It is.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh gosh, that sums it up because
I,
that's what I do in here, because I am in here by myself. I feel quite free to feel that way. And I drop into meditation 5 or 6 times a day just for a few seconds. I do the quick count, go to that space, smile and be happy that I was able to do it, and then I come out. Different little things trigger you feeling like you need it. So I go right quick, come right back, and
yeah.
get on with my day.
Yeah. One of the best ways to do it, and I know I've said this again and again, is when you're washing your hands in the bathroom. Look in the
Yeah,
mirror, wash your hands, tell yourself you love yourself. Just look into your eyes and
yeah.
see the God in you, the soul. And that's the higher self that you're speaking to. And, I can tell when it's my thoughts and I can tell when it's my higher self thoughts, even though it's still my thoughts, they're
And it
different
took me
than
a
my
while.
human thoughts.
Took me a while to understand the nuance there, and that's recent. That's
It for me too,
I
yeah.
used to channel and wait for this other person to come and talk to me, and I knew it was the other person because I was officially channeling. But you're channeling all day
Mm,
without actually sitting down to say I'm on a board and I'm gonna. There's
right.
a lot of ways to channel and pick up other entities.
Oh my gosh.
So
Think about people that draw, that paint, the photographer.
yeah,
Audrey channels in her
right.
photography all
Right.
the time.
Yeah.
She can see through spirit eyes and know exactly when to push that shutter. She's amazing. Uh,
Well, I love
And there's
Audrey.
there's there's people that are scientists that are imagining and thinking up all kinds of new things, and
Mhm.
and they're creating them. And it's just, we can do this, and there doesn't need to be fear associated with it. And I guess that's really my message for like this year is be fearless, be
Yeah.
strong, stand tall, and you're going to be okay.
Being fearless doesn't mean being stupid.
Nope.
So
All
people
right.
are afraid of being fearless. They uh, fearlessness because they feel it's going to make them vulnerable in some uncontrollable way.
Yeah.
But it's just the opposite.
Yeah.
It frees you from worrying about what's walking up behind you.
Right. I used to be afraid of everything. Mostly afraid of the things that I couldn't see. And
Yeah.
I had all kinds of imaginings, and I was not a happy person. And
Hmm.
when those fears stopped going away, and honestly, it started happening when I started learning Reiki and I started meditating and I came into this kind of an understanding. And it's been about 15 years now coming, but it's just so different to live without fear and to know that you're safe, and I do feel that way.
It's hard to hear it until you've actually experienced it.
Hmm.
And then you look back on how it felt when you were still being fearful. But
Right.
while you're in the fear, it's difficult to hear somebody say, well, just stop feeling like that.
Right. It is hard. And I didn't even know it happened. I remember the moment that I realized that it happened, but I have no idea when it actually happened past of that. And people that knew me prior to this, they just can't even believe the difference. Like my daughter, she keeps saying, I keep waiting for the old mom to come back. And I'm like, I don't think she's ever coming back. But it's such a I mean, that alone was a transformation. And that was, more than 15 years ago. Gosh, I'm starting to date myself.
Well, there's so many of my family, for instance, but I have I'm American. So it's been 24 years. And the me that I am now, those few who do hook up with me on Facebook are quite amazed and kind of some are upset that I'm not the same person. And, well, you've changed. Yes, thank you very much. I have. Haven't you?
I should hope everybody has, really.
People don't. You know how many people get to high school graduation and say, oh, that's it. Now I'm educated. Okay. And they don't want to hear about college. They don't want to hear about degrees. They don't want to hear about the scientists who did blah, 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 and the lawyers who did. No, that's not for me. Fine. If it's not for you, that's okay. But your mind doesn't have to stop growing.
It should never stop.
But for, I venture to say most, many, if not most, really think, okay, once I'm grown, that's it. I don't have to do anything else but keep enough money to be able to feed myself and my family, and I'm going to live out my life. And that's it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that you cannot decide that others can't pick something different. That's when the judging comes in and the whole thing. Well, you're doing something different than I'm doing. Yeah, so, and and we have to get to that. And that's what we're struggling with right now. We're all beating each other up about being different. When
And
that was
different is the spice of life.
yeah, we were all created to be different and to enjoy the fact that it's possible to have 5,000 different ways to think of this and 10,000 ways to see that. That's what it's all about. We're each sending messages back. Hey, guess what it's like when you do it this way?
And you think about it, there's 7 billion ways to live a life.
Almost eight.
Almost eight. All right.
It's either right under eight or right over it at this point.
Okay. So eight billion ways to live a life. And each of those 8 billion split off with every choice you make every day. So there's multi-billions of each of us.
Yes.
It,
I
and
love that.
it's big. It's a big thought.
It gets complicated though. It's
But I
more
don't,
complicated than it used to be when we were all trying to think the same and when there were so few of us.
yeah. And
You know,
I think that it's just it's a big thought, but it's doable. It's doable. The people that we learn from, Seth, Bert Goldman, different teachers like that, they talk about infinity and what it is like and how many yous there really are.
yeah.
And there's as many as you can imagine.
Well, the moment you say something, you have defined another thing that's going to play out. Now, well, I'm not saying that it would be good if so and so, but have you ever thought about blah, blah, blah? The thing is, if you say it in truth, if you even think it, but
The
if you dare
choice.
to put it out to others, you've put the idea out there for them to grasp that this is another photo of what is possible. You've laid out another timeline that's going to play out in infinity somewhere. Okay. And that's the whole reason for making sure that you are the one who's controlling what's going through your head because you're creating it. Isn't that why we meditate?
Mhm.
So if we're meditating to try and make sure that a certain thought is focused on, then those thoughts you're focusing on, if they're not the right ones, if they're not the nicer ones, don't think that it's not going to happen. It may not happen to you, but it's going to happen somewhere in the universe because you just defined it.
Right. Right. I don't, I, as silly as it may sound, I don't watch horror stories anymore
I
because
don't.
I don't want, I don't want those kind of thoughts, even though it is entertainment. I don't want to be creating those thoughts. And there are those certain writers that make something so real
Yes.
that you are manifesting it.
Yes.
So I tend to stay away from that kind of entertainment.
I do too.
So
Yeah.
more
It's a
positive
great
light.
thing.
But
It has to.
this is where we have free will. We can choose what we
Exactly.
want to entertain us or not.
That's the
Or
bottom line.
yeah, so
That's the bottom line. Yeah.
it is, it is.
It's a
So
choice.
it right, right. And we have, I mean, it's all our choice. Nobody, I guess there are few that they don't have a choice. But for the most people that are certainly going to hear this, you always have a choice.
Yes, you do.
Mhm.
Always.
Right.
In all ways.
Right. Even
There's
children have a choice, you
yes,
know.
of course.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
if you doubt it, look at the scripts that some of them write. Okay? They run the same gamut that all of our scripts do. Some of them have long life, some of them don't. Some of them have wealth, some of them don't, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But when we're talking about children, they're autonomous little beings. They're just as much a spark from deity as any of us, and they've decided on a particular lifetime.
absolutely.
You know, they're making choice from the moment you pop out and into this dimension. You start running your program. You hit click. That's it.
And they're probably closer because they remember more and they haven't been told all the things they can't do and what they're not.
That's right.
So try not to do that to those little children, Let them know that they are infinite creators. And what an amazing world we would have, at that point. And I think
Yes.
that's where we're headed towards. Children now, they know so much of what we're talking about and what we do here. Um, eh, just
And then there's those indigo children now. Whoa, that's a whole other idea.
it is, it is.
Yeah, they are fascinating. Ah,
Absolutely. And each one of us is one of them.
yeah.
I, yeah, each one of us.
Yeah, that's cute.
But it's true. It's so true.
We're the indigo children of our generation.
Seth said that we were we were brought into existence to report back and give God feedback as
Yes,
to what we do with our free will, our lifetime. And if God is infinite, God would never choose to do one life at a time. He would have
right,
said, "Bam, here they all are." And
right.
and that is where my feeling of simultaneous time comes in too, that everything, the future, the past, it's all happening right now.
Yeah.
And and we can at times we can even investigate that stuff. Right. We've done some past meditations here where we've gone back in the past and we've gone ahead to
Oh,
the future too.
I like those. I like those very much.
Yeah.
Just
There,
say that in places in the universe, there are an infinite number of speaking with Kates that are happening, and they're all saying something different.
wow.
Ways of maybe saying the same thing, but doing it differently, or
Yeah.
even doing something different, but we have no control over being able to know what all of them are.
Hmm.
But it is very true that with the now being all the time, everything that ever existed is now.
Yeah.
It's out there doing it. So it's about what you focus on. And that means there are other speaking with Kates.
Hmm. There is. And
Sitting there in formal attire and top hats in some of them.
Well, yeah, and we are talking about every possible topic as well
Yeah,
that is out there. Today we're talking about being fearless and manifesting and
I
you know
love it.
yeah, me too, me too. And Mickey and I, we talk almost every day, and this is the same kind of conversations we have.
Right.
How nice, how nice.
I just took all the bad words out.
No bad.
Ah,
So, oh my gosh, look at that. It's 222 here
yes,
in New York. Two-
yes, I saw.
That's an angel number, right? But so
Yeah,
we've been on for almost an hour already. Like time sure does fly when we're
it
here.
does.
It
Yeah,
and I are we ready to go into meditation? You think? Yeah. Oh, you know what I wanted to ask people? I did want to ask people. Well, last time we met for full moon in December, we weren't actually live, but
yeah.
more people watched because I had it set to happen at the same time. And Mickey and I both had issues out in the world, in the real world, and neither one of us could have been there, but we had so many views for it. So I hope people liked it, but I do like being live.
If there are any questions left over from then that needed to be asked of us, then now's a good time to bring them up. Since we weren't available live to answer your questions, then is there anything left over from that one that people need to bring up?
So I don't even know how to say your name. Ranai Chinai, maybe?
I just
I know you're a Seth person. But she said it's 4:22 in Japan, so I'm guessing
oh,
that's 4 a.m. And God
well,
bless you for being with us.
yes, it's like when I was taking Marco's classes, and all of you in the States, he's in Canada, and everybody would say, "Oh, we're going to meet at 10 p.m." Well, it's 3 a.m. for me. And believe it or not, I have never gotten back on to the other schedules. I am not in bed before 4 or 5, absolutely every night.
Oh yeah, I
But
tease her.
my
I tell
thing,
Mickey she's on New York time.
I, I am.
So Ronnie is how she says her name.
Ronnie, okay.
Rani. Okay, great. And it is AM there. So God, thank you for joining us. That's amazing.
I'm so pleased to hear that that's where you are. I'm an
I
absolute nut about all kinds of Japanese things. So the artist in me, the musician in me, the whatever, I am so hooked on all kinds of Japanese things that I make sushi constantly
ah,
and other kinds of Japanese food. It's just my thing. I'm sure I was happily Japanese in some other lives. So
nice, nice. And for me, Reiki was what brought me into this whole spiritual community. And
oh,
that is a traditionally Japanese
that's
practice.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So, oh, Ronnie said, come visit.
Okay, and you can come this way as well.
That's right. That's right. Nice. Well, are we ready to do some meditation? All right. So I'm just going to ask everybody now to just close your eyes, I'm going to take my glasses off, get in a very comfortable position. I'm going to ask that your neck be supported, either, with a pillow or, just resting it on the back of a couch, but be very comfortable. And I'm going to ask that we just take a couple of deep breaths together, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again. I cannot believe that someone is at my door, people. All right, let's take a deep breath in again in and out. And I want you to relax. Focus on the parts of the body that I'm going to mention and just tighten it up a little bit. Just pay attention to that area and then let it relax. So the top of your head and relax. And now focus on your forehead and relax that area, those muscles. Your cheeks, relax the muscles in your cheeks. Your ears, your nose, your lips, relax your jaw. Just part your teeth just a little bit. Let that relaxation flow out of your jaw, down, all the way down your spine, down your legs, and out the soles of your feet. Wonderful. Now, concentrate on your neck. Oh, it's holding your head up. That's why I had you make sure it was supported. Relax the muscles in your neck. And now your shoulders. Focus on your shoulders. Relax those shoulders. Let them slide down. Think about your shoulder blades and let them just melt down your back like butter. Focus on your arms, your upper arms. Tighten those muscles and relax them, letting any tensions flow right out through your fingertips. And now your forearms, your wrists, your hands, your fingers. Make a fist with your hands and then just shake out your hands. Just let that energy flow out. Now concentrate on your chest. Tighten those muscles and release any tensions you're holding. And your belly, release your belly tensions. Let your belly be soft. And your back muscles, tighten them up a little bit, just a little. And then release everything down your spine, your legs, out the soles of your feet. Now focus on your torso, your soft belly, your hips, buttocks. And release all the tensions that are being held there. Tighten up your thighs and release the tension. Focus on your calves and your shins. Letting that tension go. Your ankles and your feet. Wiggle those toes, letting all energy just flow out down to Mother Earth. Now take another deep breath in and out. Oh, it feels so good to be this relaxed, taking this special time just for yourself. Now, we're going to do the 3 to 1 count together. And again, I'd like for you to say this silently and also visualize the numbers as we do the countdown. So we're going to start with inhaling. 3, 3, 3. And inhaling again. 2, 2, 2. And inhale again. 1, 1, 1. And with that, you are in a deeper, clearer state of mind than you were when we started. Now, I would like for you to imagine that you're standing at the top of a staircase and your right hand is holding on to a nice wooden railing. The steps are carpeted, so there's no sound. And as you walk down, you might be in your bare feet and feel the fibers between your toes, or you might have shoes on or socks. Any way that it feels right to you is exactly right. And we're going to walk down these steps slowly. 10, 9, going deeper and deeper. 8, 7, deeper and deeper. 6, 5, deeper and deeper. 4, 3, we are almost there. Deeper still. 2, 1. We are now in our beautiful heart space and our meditation room. And this is becoming so familiar to us now as we look around. We go and look to the left. We have our laboratory, our creation room. In this room that we're standing in, our meditation room, there is comfy furniture, maybe a TV, definitely a fireplace, windows. Looking to the right, there's our quantum door. You've created this door. It's very ornate and it's exactly as you want it. You have decorated this room, created the door. This is manifesting. And if you look a little further to the right, it goes around in a circle, but there's an elevator that goes up to a penthouse. We haven't visited that in a while, but today we're going to go through this quantum door. So standing in front of this door, I want you to think about and intend that on the other side of this quantum door, we are going to see and experience exactly what we need to. There will be joy and fun, singing and laughter, but it's entirely up to you how that looks. We know that there is a little garden. We know that there is a bridge that goes over to our village. There's also a meadow that goes through the woods, and there is the um, daisy pond there. And I'm going to allow the freedom for all of us to make that intention that we are going to manifest exactly what is right for us on the other side of this quantum door. You may want to visit a doppelganger, another you that has an ability that you want to learn or you want to get better at, or maybe a you that you want to ask questions to. I want to leave this entirely up to you. We have done this enough. We know so well how to do this. So set your intentions right now, and I'll give you just a moment to set that intention of what you're looking for on the other side. Good. Now I'm going to count to 3, and on the count of 3, this quantum door is going to open out, and when it does, we're going to be able to step over, fly out, jump, whatever you want to do to get into the world that you've manifested. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, the door is starting to open. 3, the door is open. So cross that threshold into your beautiful manifested world. And I'm going to give you time to experience your intention. Take your time. So now's the time to ask any last questions or make that final connection before we head back inside our meditation room. And we'll give you a few more minutes to wrap up whatever you've been doing. And I want you to start walking towards the quantum door. Some of you have a very short walk and others might have a little longer walk. So we'll meet you all right there by the quantum door. And the door is still open. And when you're ready, you can cross the threshold. And when you do that, the door will close very gently, very softly behind you. And as we all gather in each of our meditation rooms, we're going to travel a little bit to our creation room where our healing table is. So let's walk to our creation room or our lab, however you like to address it, and go to your healing table. And I'm going to ask that you lie down on the table. Right? This is your time. And I would like for you to set your intention that your higher self, your oversoul, your guides, your angels, whatever terminology you feel most comfortable with, your guides, they are with you. And set your intention for healing. Now, you may have a specific area of healing, or it may be very general. You may ask your guides to look at things that might be a problem in the future and fix them right now. Or you might just need a little more energy, right? We heard in the beginning that today or the last few days have been a low energy day. So let's ask for healing and beautiful universal energy to flow into our bodies. Imagine it any way you desire. You could have your beings do hands-on like Reiki. You could just imagine the energy flowing in your crown, down your whole chakra system, out your feet to Mother Earth, back up again in a very toroid way, constantly entering your crown and leaving through your feet. Know that this is universal energy. It is limitless, just like we are. We are fearless. We are limitless. Anything we can imagine, anything we can think, can be so. So take the time now to work with your guides, your oversoul, in healing your body, your mind, and soul. You can even ask your higher selves to describe to you what they're doing so that you know and you understand. Or you could just float in silence, feeling like you're just on a cloud with the warmth of the universal energy flowing through you. It's up to you. how quickly universal energy can heal us in every way. So when you are ready, you can start to sit up. Just dangle your feet over the edge of that bed. Maybe have a little drink of water. Thank you, angels, guides, beings of light, oversoul, higher selves, for always being with you. You only need to ask. And when you feel ready, let's go over to our desk and uncover our creation screens. So the screen on the right is where we create, and we can dial in and save creations that we love. And the screen on the left is where we're going to remove things. So I want to give you time, as we've been talking about manifesting, setting our intentions for the next moon cycle. Some things we're going to want to clear and cleanse, and we're going to want to put them on our left screen and swipe left to clear them from our space, our head, our thoughts. And then there are other things that we want to manifest on the right side, and we want to dial that in and save them. So go ahead and do that now. This is our manifestation place. Create the best world that you want to live in. Create the experiences that you want. Create the feelings that are best for you. Now, if you start creating and it's not exactly right, you can swipe it to the left screen to get rid of it and start over again. You are the great creator. Now that our intentions are set and we have cleared what we don't want on our left screen, it's time now to come back to this time and place where we began. So go ahead and save your screens and cover them back up with their beautiful cloths. And come back to the meditation room. And I'm going to do a count to 5. And on the count of 5, you are going to be present. You are going to remember everything that your higher self, your oversoul, your guides, angels spoke to you about, what you manifested. You will remember everything. And you are going to feel totally refreshed, like you had a wonderful long nap. And you are going to come back feeling wonderful all over. Ready? 1, 2, you're coming back nicely, slowly. 3, yes, coming back. 4, you can start to stretch a little bit. And 5, eyes open, wide awake, feeling wonderful all over. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And I would be really happy to hear any experiences that you want to share. Um, whew, that was quite the journey we took. Um, I thought this year was really a time to not give you a lot of direction, but um, let you use the tools that we have learned and experience what you want to experience, the best for you. So I see our friend Joanna has joined us, and Allison is also watching. Beautiful. If anybody would like to comment on maybe a being that you met, or some manifestation, or even some part of the healing, you know, my focus a lot is on the healing. I love everything to do with it. You might really want to have some real water to come back, you know, take some nice deep breaths. I hope everybody's doing okay. Everybody's being quiet, and I don't see Mickey on just yet. How are you doing, Martin? Audrey? Ronnie? Audrey says she was healing her relationship with a family member. Beautiful, beautiful. That is absolutely perfect. Ronnie's back. Hi. Good, good. I hope you all enjoyed this. There's my girl.
Whoa. Whoa. Hello.
Hello. I give a lot of freedom.
Hello, lovey.
Great.
Oh, baby, that went deep.
Great. I love it. I love it. And you know, it's each of you. And you know, even though we are miles and miles apart, the energy that we create together is just so significant, and it
It is.
helps each one of us. Randy said, looking forward to a beautiful everything.
Yeah, that's well put.
Uh-huh. Thank you for joining
Oh,
us. Thank you.
Ronnie, I'd like permission to turn that into a meme. That's a
Oh,
great saying.
she's sending little love bubbles. Oh, I love them. They're so cute. Love
Thank
bubbles.
you. I'm going to make it a meme and I'll send it to you before I post it so you can see
Oh,
it and approve it. But
oh,
I love that. Oh, that's so nice to
yep,
start
yep,
right. Looking forward to everything.
yep.
That is great.
Love is all.
Yeah, that is really, really great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
I,
it'll be our first meme.
yeah, the energy is really high in
Yes.
considering, you know, when we first started, everybody felt like energy was a little low.
Yes.
So this was the perfect day and time to do exactly what we did. And I don't know if
Good.
anybody noticed, and I'm probably going to cut it out of the original one, but somebody was absolutely banging on my door, like bam, bam, bam.
Oh, I
Oh,
couldn't.
yeah,
I remember you saying it. Oh, I can't believe it. But
I
I
know.
took
And then I just let it go. Like of all
we
times. And
both had a similar thing happen. My phone rang, and I just was like, "Eh, sorry, gotta go."
exactly. Well,
And,
I put my, as a matter of fact, I have a doorbell that is so loud. I unplugged it before we
oh,
started. And thank God I did, because you would have been hearing ding dong. Yeah, crazy.
that's cute.
Um, let's see. Rani said we create where we focus. Absolutely. That is one of Seth's biggest messages, you get what you focus upon. And Martin said there was a waterfall. I stood in it and came out all tingly. The fountain of
Ooh,
youth. Oh God, Martin, you already have the fountain of youth.
Martin's already tingly too.
Oh yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. He always has the most exquisite experiences.
Yes. Yeah, you are blessed. Boy, when you wrote this script, Martin, you really, really wrote one.
He sure did. He sure did. And it's one of those things is the people that I know that are on with us today, I all met you because of COVID.
Yeah.
Because prior to COVID, we used to do things like this in person. And COVID
Mhm.
pushed us to do it online.
Right.
And that's how I've met almost everybody that's on right now.
That's fantastic. So
Isn't
what
it
was
though?
part of the good stuff that came out of this thing? Everybody who defines the COVID year says, oh, yeah, it was that terrible, terrible.
Oh
No,
no.
terrible.
I definitely prospered and grew. And
No,
I'm
it
so
was really
grateful for the
unpleasant.
and my world became the world instead of
Hmm.
this little town. It really expanded for me. So
Wow.
he said mine was a part Martin said mine was a party. He's a party animal.
One of these days, Martin, we're going to have to party. We can have a party on here one night. We could do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could.
we can do anything, right? That's what this whole manifesting today
That's
was
right.
about. We can do anything. Yeah. Yeah, we can choose to do, and we don't have to stick to the new moon either. We could jump in something else too.
We could.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's a great idea. Well, one night we're going to have a party. Well, I say night because for me, it's just turned 8 o'clock.
Right. It's always night for you when we're on.
Okay. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. We're going to pick a date and we're going to have a party.
All right. We can do
Yeah.
that.
We'll
We
let Martin pick the theme
can.
and we'll have a party. Why
All
not?
right. It sounds wonderful.
Us and our higher selves.
Yeah, yeah. And we don't even have to do it live on Facebook. We can just do it on Zoom between us. So
Exactly.
then you can party and you can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, that's true.
Very nice. Yeah, yeah. That sounds wonderful. Well, any more comments? I'm glad that it was good for people and that you were able to go deep. We did the quantum leap, so we were able to experience something that we intended. We were able to do healing, and we were able to do some manifesting and clearing.
Right.
So kind of awesome. And it was very open-ended to whatever came to your mind.
Yes. I enjoyed this tonight. I really did. I haven't even gone into all of what it was, but it was quite interesting. I'm still sorting it out.
All right. Ronnie said, early morning meditation is best. Well, it's very early for you, for sure.
Yes. It-
All right. Well, I think that we'll sign off now and integrate what just happened to us. And, we'll see you back in about 2 weeks for the full moon.
Yeah.
I will be away, but I'm gonna try to be somewhere where I can get online and we can still do it live. But I'm gonna be in Savannah, Georgia, I think. I think I'll
Yeah.
be there by then. So, um,
That's going to be interesting.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Early.
haven't I haven't done one like remotely yet. So
Yes.
we'll see. This will be the first time.
That'll be good. As
Yeah.
Edward R. Murrow used to say, he's dating herself. But as Edward R. Murrow used to say, it was a night like every other night except you were there.
I love it. I love it. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. And uh, the new moon, now let me think. Let me tell you exactly when it is. The new moon is tomorrow morning at 6:58 a.m. for New York Standard Time.
Okay.
So 11:58 for England.
Hmm.
Okay. And that will be the very peak. So between now and then, you really want to work on your manifesting, and like we said, know that what you're manifesting, you already have because you do.
Yeah,
Because the
this
future is
lifetime is
happening
already
now.
happening. Yeah, the lifetime you're in has already happened.
Yeah.
All of it.
So enjoy it now.
Yeah. Enjoy the rerun that we're conscious of because it's all
Absolutely.
happening.
Yeah.
Right.
And if happens like physically, let us know. I love it.
Right.
I love it.
Exactly.
All right, everybody. Enjoy 2024. Love you all.
Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye.
I love you.
Good night.